Hey guys, Michael Pizzullo here, gay men's therapist in West Hollywood. So today we're going to talk about Colton Underwood, who is someone that I don't know. I've watched a lot of his interviews and documentaries, and I want to talk to you about some of the psychological themes in his story because I think they're very relevant to a lot of other gay men, and also because I think he's often a topic of conversation in the gay community in general. So let's get into it. So the most compelling part of Colton's story, just to start off, is that he wasn't just in the closet, but he had a completely false self. So a lot of gay men obviously live in secrecy. They are hiding. There are a lot of like elusive qualities to them because they're hiding parts of their sexuality, which leads to hiding just a lot of parts of their identity and their lives, right? But some people go a step further and they create an entirely false self. They create like a different persona, almost like a different person that they present to the world. And you see this a lot with Colton. He wasn't just like a closeted gay man who was kind of hiding in the shadows or, kind of going along to get along. He was not just pretending to be straight, but he was advertising that. He was, on The Bachelor, he was courting all these women. He was saying that he was a virgin. And he made a completely separate identity from who he really is, which when you watch part of his documentary, he talks to eventually having a moment where he wanted to sort of unalive himself, which is obviously quite heartbreaking. And this is something very common for gay men who are not just in the closet, but create an alternate identity, because when that identity is shattered, it feels as though they no longer exist, that they no longer have part of themselves to come back to because they have crafted an entire life based off of a persona that just simply is not true. So the next part of his story is the coming out process, which is obviously a good thing. He's able to live authentically and freely, and this is hopefully a step of the journey that most gay men get to. But what's interesting about Colton's story is that even though he's come out, people still often doubt his authenticity. And this is something I don't think is talked about enough among gay men and who have coming out stories, in that if you live a certain way for a long time where you are hiding, concealing who you are, or even creating a false persona, that just because you come out and come clean, it doesn't necessarily mean that people are sure what to believe or that they trust the authenticity that you are presenting to them. And this is particularly true for gay men who have, again, created an entirely false persona. They may have a wife and kids or an entire life based off of being heterosexual, that when that person comes out and reveals that they are in fact gay, that does endear some trust from those around them to feel like, okay, they're being honest, they're being straightforward. But oftentimes people around them still get a sense of, I'm just not sure if I can trust this person's word. And I think unfortunately it can take a long time for people to build that trust again if they've spent so much time interacting with you in a way where you were not presenting yourself honestly. But I think that's certainly the case with Colton, because you see a lot when he does interviews that people often seem to be raising an eyebrow at him or just seem a little bit skeptical of the way he's presenting himself. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that it wasn't just the typical gay guy who is, hiding or pretending to be straight and then comes out. This is someone who broadcast his straightness for the world to see and for public consumption. And so there is a longer journey, I think, for someone like him to regain the trust of, well, in his case, the public, but in most gay guys' cases, just regain the trust of people around them. So this is the part of his story that I think is the most compelling, and I think is truly why people struggle to reconcile his character and find trust in him, is that he's almost too perfect. So they talk about this a lot in like early gay psychology, about how a lot of gay men adopt a persona of perfectionism in order to shield against internalized shame. So a lot of gay men are very, successful or take care of their appearance, so on and so forth, right? And with Colton, it almost seems like he's always been doing that. That he went from like the perfect straight guy to the perfect gay guy with very little space in between. And again, I'm sure there was a lot of internal reconciling for himself, but I don't think that other people necessarily saw a lot of the messiness. So, when he was a straight guy, he's a football player, he's good looking, he's tall, he's blonde, he's on TV, he's like everything he's checking all the boxes, right? And then now, even as a gay guy, well, he still looks good, still has all that going for him. But now he's like an activist and he's married and he has a family. So it's like, it almost felt like one perfect picture got traded for the other, just to swap out the sexuality. And I think that it leads people to wonder, is this authentic? Because when someone is so perfect, and presents to you such a like a kind of costume of everything looks so, squeaky clean and shiny and presentable, while that may be attractive, it also does lead people to doubt, is this person being totally authentic with me? Like, where are their messy parts? Where are the other things going on? Why does everything look so good? And again, I think someone like him in particular, who is also trying to regain trust because he lived a false self for such a long time, trading one version of perfectionism for another, I think makes that journey even harder. But again, I think it's something a lot of gay men can relate to, particularly those who have really spent a long time living a false self and living in a persona and are now trying to be authentic, but still presenting themselves in a way that looks good, but just doesn't seem so genuine. Okay, so I hope you found that useful and entertaining. I know I did. And again, the reason I'm using someone like him to talk about these concepts is because he personifies them in real time. But I think a lot of gay men will relate to the coming out process, maybe even developing a sense of a false self, and then trying to find authenticity afterwards. So if you relate to any of these themes and you're looking for help working on them, click the link below. I do coaching for gay men and I do therapy for gay men, both here in Los Angeles and worldwide. Would love to work with you. So thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next one.